Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Leaders Without podcast. For this episode, I have a very special guest, my new good friend, Anna from beautiful Ljubljana, Slovakia. And yeah, we just connected a few minutes ago and we had an amazing connection. She's a true leader with a heart. She has a beautiful heart and an amazing personality. And what she does is also, she has a beautiful vision and mission. She helps people to attract prosperity through signature style. She's a certified virtual personal stylist and visual brand consultant. So it's quite a mouthful, but in a nutshell, she's a true leader with a heart. So Anna, my friend, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. So for people who don't know you, who's Anna?
I thought about this, you know, for a long time because this is also a part of my work. You know,
Hmm.
who are you? Who are we? And there are so many definitions of who we are or who we are. I personally like to start with being a gentle empath, a passionate high performer, and a fierce maverick.
Quite an explosive combo. The empath and the oh wow, yeah, love that. Okay, we'll talk about it in a moment. So yes,
Yeah.
you mentioned something very important. We said one of the key question we always ask ourselves is, "Who am I?" And that can depend every day based on our mood, on what we're working on, and all that. But at the base of it, at the bottom of it, what is the thing that really drives you?
Passion.
Oh yes, oh yes, we talked about that. We'll get that in a moment, but before we do, as I said, I like to get to know the person more than the title. So I want to have a heart-to-heart conversation. So first of all, Anna, what makes you happy?
Being alive, smell the clean air. I have the
Hmm.
privilege to have it.
Oh
I live
yes,
in a peaceful country. When I get out on the street, I don't have to be afraid for my life. I can go wherever I want. I don't have to lock my house when I'm in the outside. Um, well, these are basic things, but I'm lucky to be aware of this. You know, my country is very clean. That our how do you call it? Um, Capital city is white. We say white Ljubljana because it's so clean.
oh wow,
Yeah. So and also we have 80% of forests in our land.
wow, beautiful.
That's a lot. And I'm
Yeah,
grateful for this every day when I wake
absolutely.
up. You know?
You mentioned being able to breathe fresh air, walk on the streets without feeling in danger and without locking your door. That's something that not a lot of people get to enjoy nowadays, especially if you live in a major city in a big country. I mean, you cannot do that. We live just outside of Toronto, and our small city you can do it. But if you go inside the city, the big city in Toronto, no way, you don't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about the US because over there, of course, maybe the small cities is different, but the big cities, forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
I've been traveling a lot
Hmm.
and I've seen big cities and they scared me.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes. What um, what makes you smile?
What makes me smile? My little baby boy.
Oh, that's a beautiful reason. How old is he?
1.5 years old.
Amazing. Yes.
Yeah. So
Kids are the most precious, especially under the age of 4. That's when the sweetest. Oh, yes.
and also, um, people who are nice make me smile, and
Mm,
people who are passionate, and people who are trying to be better, a better person,
yes.
who never give up. I love people who never give up.
I agree because there's it's very easy to give up because people tell you, come on, stop dreaming, or it's not for you, whatever reason. But when people are saying that is because they themselves feel threatened. They don't want to see you go above themselves because then they will make them question their life and life choices, and they don't want to do that.
Hmm.
Even though they mean good, but because they don't want to see you. It's not that they don't want to see you succeed. It's just that they don't want to have to face the harsh reality of questioning their own reality. You know,
Hmm.
because when you see two people that are at the same level, but one is like way achieves way more, and the other is just barely getting by, then the one that is just barely getting by is he's going to be facing and asking some very tough question of himself or herself. And
Yeah.
that's why, yeah,
The energy doesn't flow, they're blocked.
yeah,
So yeah,
for
that's
sure. What makes you sad and angry?
oh, oh, that's a good one.
I know.
The opposite of what makes me smile. So, yeah, what makes me angry? Injustice, for
Yes.
sure.
Are you?
Injustice or ignorant.
Mm,
You're ignoring. You know.
you mentioned injustice. Are you a Libra? Because I'm a Libra, and for us Libra, we cannot support, we cannot stand injustice.
Yeah, I know a lot of Libras, and I love them, but I'm Gemini. So,
Oh, Gemini. Okay, I see.
yeah.
I see. Cool. I know a few that Gemini too. Okay, that's good. Okay, what makes you? So we said, okay, what scares you?
Um, what scares me?
The dark,
No. Yeah,
spiders.
they're nice. They're just hanging there in their corners,
Yeah,
minding their own business.
exactly. That's why I keep telling people that say, like, they just scream as soon as they see my sister. She cannot. As soon as she sees a spider, she's ah. So relax. They're just doing his own business. Let him be.
Exactly. But what scares me? I can't remember anything right now.
Okay.
Maybe uncertainty.
Ooh, I see. So you like to know what you're getting into.
Hmm. I like to do a lot of research before I make up my mind or
Mm,
before I say something. I can't just say something out of the blue. I really have
sure.
to be sure that this is really true or
Mhm.
has a lot of potential to be true.
Of course, of course. Let me ask you a fun question now. When we were kids, especially in primary school or middle school, our parents, our teachers, our relatives, our friends ask you always, so Anna, what do you want to become when you grow up? What was your answer back then?
Oh, I was changing my mind all the time.
But
First, yeah, first I wanted to be a policewoman on a horse.
wow,
Yeah, but back then this was not possible for women.
really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So then I wanted to be, that artist that makes old, refashion old reliquias,
Okay.
relics.
Relics. Okay. Nice.
I wanted to be an artist also, and I wanted to be a fashion designer.
Geminis have a very creative side. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Very creative. Yes.
Ask me what
Yes.
I studied.
Yes. Where did you study?
I
I didn't
studied
hear anything.
languages.
So
First, I studied languages. So I
which one did
studied
you study?
German language and literature.
Which language did you study?
German language and literature.
Oh, German. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was in school, I grew up in France, in the south of France, and the first language we had to choose in the primary school was English, and then and this
Mhm.
secondary school we had to choose a second language. I chose Spanish, and then in high school we had to choose a third language. So I just went. I wasn't sure, so I went to a German class. I swear to you, I only lasted one class. After that, I said 999, 999. That's not for me. I even
Yeah.
tried Russian, but it was niet, 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 even worse, you know. So instead I took Italian, ma che cazzo, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
no.
said that for Italian.
Oh wow. No, Italian is a fun language. It's a fun language.
I love it now, but back
Yeah.
then I had to choose. When I was in high school, I also had a third language,
Mm.
and I had to choose between Italian and French, and I decided to do French. I
Oh,
still
tu
don't
parles
know
français?
French.
You speak French?
A little.
Oh,
Un peu.
un peu. Okay. On va parler après, okay?
Don't.
No, that's good. That's good. So let me ask you another question since we're talking about school. When you were a student, what was your favorite subject in school? Fashion.
Languages,
Oh,
English.
I thought it was
Yeah.
fashion.
No, there was no fashion in grammar
Oh,
school.
oh yeah. That was for after. Okay. All right, cool. So looking back at your life from the time you finished school into where you are now, how did you get on the path that you are now? Was it a normal progression or natural progression, or was it like you went one path and then you had to change to another direction until you get to here? So, how was your path?
Yeah, it was not, it was changing directions. My life led me to different points, different stop points, and then I turned, and another stop point, and I turned. You know, it was life leading me, my experience and circumstances.
So, do you think that having a life that is linear is more fun, or a life that is multiple directions? Which one is more fun, more fulfilling?
Um, well, obviously, it's in different directions, but I'm not sure if anybody has a linear life.
That's very true. Not in these days. Maybe 50, 60 years ago, you
Yeah.
just finished school, you had one job and you were in sale company until you retired, but that's not the case anymore.
Hmm. Oh, I
Oh, yeah.
couldn't do that. I couldn't do
No,
that.
exactly.
It's
Oh,
too
yeah.
boring for me.
I know. I know. Even for me, I had many changes, especially times, I had to. You said you need to do a lot of research. I'm the opposite. I'm very spontaneous. Like, you can call me, for example, I moved to another part of the country. I moved to the other part of the world just on a notice.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's so brave.
Yeah, because you know that's how I am. One time, like five in 2015, I had a job offer to go to China as a football coach. I didn't think twice. I just went for it. And then before that, I left when I was in Toronto. I had corporate job. I had an opportunity to go work in the Western Canada in the oil field. I just went like that.
Hmm.
So sometimes it can be very spontaneous, very because I'm an adventurer by nature. That's how we are. We liberals, we strive for adventure.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like a steady person, and then I have, like a moment when I do something spontaneous. I do that also, but it's
Yeah,
more not so common.
I know. Well, whatever, people are different, and
Yeah,
at the end of it, it's all about being happy. So,
yeah.
okay, cool. Um, Tell us about a little bit about your business. What are you doing now?
What I'm doing now, I'm transforming people's lives.
I love that. I love that. I should have used that for your intro. Transforming people's life. Okay. In what way?
In what way? I help them see their real talents and potentials that
Wow,
they're
love that.
hiding inside themselves. They're afraid to show them because they are convinced that these are their flaws, actually. But they're not their flaws, they're just exceptional talents that were misunderstood by people who don't have them.
Absolutely. Why do you think that, I had a similar conversation with another wonderful lady from Canada last week, and she said, since we're a kid, we're always told to be nice, to be polite, instead of, listening to our heart, listening to our intuition, to our gut feeling, because our intuition and gut feeling is basically the universe and God and our soul talking to us. But because we're told since we're kids, to be nice and be polite, because sometimes you have a gut feeling that if you say it, if you express it, you may sound like a rude person.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of time that intuition is there for a good reason. It's to protect you and to really guide you in the right direction. And a lot of time people are just people we all need to stop repressing our intuition. Instead, we need to learn to listen to it more, because our intuition is our best friend. It's there first to protect us and then to guide us, because knowing what to do is very important, but also knowing what not to do is also equally, if not twice as more important. Like you're in a crossroad, you want to make an important decision. It's good to know what to do, but also very important to know what not to do. If you want to get, say, in a business relationship or even a relationship, it's good that you know the person, but sometimes you have to listen to your gut feeling. Or let's say you enter into a meeting, or a boardroom. You can look around the table, look at the people, look at their smiles, and then try to listen to what your gut feeling is telling you,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the gut feeling is the universe and God, whatever you want to call it, is talking to you, communicating to you first to protect you and then to really guide you. And that's what we need to do more often. So for you, you're saying that you're helping transforming people and help them seeing their talent, the real talent and potential. How much of that the fact that they're not seeing that, how much of that do you think is because of the lack of self-belief, because of what people around them and society is telling them?
Yeah, definitely. I do believe that they can sense it. They know it's there, but they don't know how to put it in words or give it a form. Everybody knows and has this feeling, I'm made for something more. I'm I need something different, but they can't put a finger on it.
Absolutely. And how can they do that? As you said perfectly, how can they put the finger on what they're supposed to do, what they're meant to do? Do you have any tips on that?
Yeah, I actually have a freebie about that.
Okay.
It's attraction style quiz, attraction style quiz, and it's a journey from their head to their heart. So they have the opportunity to listen to their heart and step into this other way of looking at things.
Hmm.
So this is something, you know, an exercise, I would say, that one can do and get the feeling or a glimpse of how it might look like.
True. When you say that you're helping people, see the real themselves, do you what is your ideal client? Do you have like an avatar of the person you're really trying to work with?
Yes, it's a person that loves to continuously grow and upgrade. They they may be seeking help from coaches, and they do a lot of personal growth things to improve themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really action driven. They won't settle for average. They are mavericks, I say. They want something different for themselves, and they want to succeed, but they don't have a lot of time because they are so driven. So yeah, high achievers, mavericks.
So you just pretty much described yourself.
Yes,
So the people
because
are
I
just
can
like you.
relate to this. I went through
Absolutely.
this, you know.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of one common mistake that I see quite a lot of coaches do, they try to help everyone and everybody with their problems. While this
Mhm,
is a very noble cause, it's not good because nobody can help everybody. Maybe God can do it, but we're not God, you know? It's
mhm,
too much work. Instead, we need to focus on helping an exact person that can relate to us, especially someone that is like us, that is has the same views, you know, characteristics, skills, traits, ambition. Because at the end of the day, as I said earlier, it doesn't matter what business you're in, whether you're e-commerce coach, or even if you're selling hot dogs and ice cream down the street, you're still in the people's business. Your main business is people, and people want to relate with you, connect with you, and the best way to do it is to connect with someone that can relate to you. They can say, "Hey, this is someone like me, not someone. Oh, this is way too out. That I can't relate with that." So I'm very
mhm,
happy to hear that the person that you described is basically yourself, and I can see, even though I don't know your business, I can see that you're. I'm pretty much sure that your business is very successful because you know exactly who you're going after, and that
mhm,
person is exactly like you. And the number one, you know, number one thing to succeed is to go after someone that you know as clearly as possible, and the best way is to go after someone that is very similar to you,
mhm,
because the problem that you and me may have, we're not the only person having it. So if you can find other people that have the same problem, then you're golden. So that's awesome,
mhm.
good to see that. Cool.
And I know that my path works because I went through this. I already experienced everything, and so I am certain that it works. I
Oh, for
wouldn't
sure.
want to sell something I'm not sure about, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, looking at your experience, tell us about the most remarkable and inspiring example of transformation you've seen from someone that has gone through your program. Of course, you don't have to mention any specific names, but just generally speaking.
Yeah, I have a lot of them.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
They're different, but maybe um, there's a woman I really admire. She's an architect and a very determined woman. And she came to me and she said, "Look, I'm doing my second diploma,
Wow.
second master's, you know, um, and I'm doing it differently than it's usually done. And I need to feel strong in my stand. And I need to, because she needed to defend it, you know, in front of the jury. And she said, and you will help me with your knowledge um, to make me feel strong in front of the audience when I will be doing this cutting edge thing. And so I did. And she invited me to this presentation of
Wow.
her final work. And it was amazing to be a witness
Hmm.
to what happened. Because, you know, you can imagine a rigid university system when the teacher is right and everyone else is wrong. Plus, it was so above the knowledge of these teachers, professors, that they couldn't follow what she was actually doing, because she managed to combine philosophy, architecture, and literature.
Wow.
And it was mind blowing, mind blowing. Her,
Sure.
um, this architectural plan, it looked like a futuristic graphic art, a
Wow.
decomposition, it was surreal, surreal. And when
Wow.
she defended that work, the professors, they didn't know actually what to ask her, because they almost didn't know what they were looking at. It was so futuristic, so I'm looking for the word, so beyond.
Yes.
And
I
all
can
this
see.
experience, I mean, they it was a massacre. They
Wow.
wanted to tear her apart, because they needed to defend their stance and their profession and their knowledge, and it was brutal.
Oh, I can
But she was
imagine.
standing there like a queen, and she was just laughing. She said, I had my hands behind my back, and I was putting my nails in my butt so that I wouldn't bite them. She's a really passionate person and really direct. She said, but I stood there like a queen, because I felt who I am and what I stand for. And she went out through that door that day with her head lifted, you know.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah, so it was really,
One of the most beautiful sight is when you see someone that stands up for what they truly believe in
yeah,
spite of all the naysayers and opposition that try to ridicule them and say, "Oh, who are you? What the hell do you think you are?" And then,
exactly.
at the end of the day, truth will prevail and truth will win. You know.
Yeah.
So if you believe strongly in what you do, there's nothing and no one that can actually stop you, because nothing can beat truth. You know,
Mhm.
truth is
Yeah.
ultimate power.
And she thanked me at the end. She thanked me because she said, your outfit, the outfit you helped me to prepare for this presentation, was like an armor for me. And
So,
she felt safe the whole time.
speaking of that, since you're a stylist and all that, so how do you determine what kind of attire would look good on someone? Do you do some kind of assess their personality first to determine what kind of attire and style and clothing would look best on them? So what's your process? Let's say, for example, I want to be one of your client. What's the process? Guide me through the steps.
Yeah, first of all, we have a free consultation to determine what's your current situation and where you want to be, the goals. And then we make a plan how to get from this A to the final result you want to achieve with people, to the message you want to radiate on the outside. So then we make a plan according to your needs, your wishes, your situation. Everything is very personalized, because it is your signature style, right? So it has to be you, you, you. It's
Oh
all about
yes.
you. And then, yes, then it depends on the person. If she's done it before with somebody else, with other stylists, or if she did some research on her colors and all that. This is just investigation. Usually, I do fashion personality analysis. It's a very, very comprehensive and almost scientific
Wow.
assessment. And also body proportions and shapes, facial shapes, um, and all these other, how would I say it, visual characteristics of a person's body, proportions also. And especially as a virtual personal stylist, I have better tools to make these assessments more accurate because a computer can help me.
Sure.
So yeah, this is then they usually let me check their closet.
I see. Not a good idea here.
I'm very discreet.
I can imagine. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you let me ask you a question. So looking at what you've learned about me so far, can you recommend to me what style would be best suited for me?
Oh, well, it's from just looking at you, I
Hmm.
don't know enough.
Okay.
I can imagine, I can suspect, but I want to check if I'm right.
So what do you need? Do you need me to get on a plane and come to Ljubljana and then so you can check or
No,
joking. Joking.
everything is done online.
Okay, okay, good, good,
We're
good.
virtual, remember?
Absolutely. Virtual reality, yes.
Yes, virtual personal stylist. Everything is done online. You
Mm.
don't have to go anywhere. You can be in your pajamas. This will tell me a lot about you.
You sure you want that? No. All right, cool. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm sure that would make for some fun conversation, but that would be more better suited for not this podcast, but more in person over whatever. I'm sure you'd have some funny stories to tell. Speaking of
Yeah.
stories, perfect segue.
Yes.
I'm sure you've heard the saying that says, change your story, change your life. And by story, I mean the story that we keep on telling ourselves on our head. We always have, this, just like in the cartoons, like one side you have the little thing that's telling you, oh, you're no good. What do you think you are? You can't do it. And on the right side, you have the angel that says, you can do anything you want. So
Mhm.
looking at your life, have you had to change the story you were telling yourself in order to get to reach your goals, your dreams and goals? And if yes, how did you do it? How did you change your story so that you can change your life for the better?
Oh, yes. I had to do it several times,
We
and
all
I'm
have to
still
do it.
doing it. Mind shifting, right?
Hmm.
Yes, many times. A lot of personal growth, a lot of spiritual growth,
Hmm.
a lot of learning, research. Yeah, all that for sure.
So do you have any tips for someone that is looking to change the story so that they can move on and they can get closer to reaching their goals and dreams?
Well, on their own, it's quite hard. They need a leader. They need someone to guide them, because this is like being a blind person.
Hmm.
What can a blind person do themselves? They need help, because if you are stuck in a mindset that is negative or not beneficial to you, you need someone to show you the way, and you need someone who sees, because a blind man cannot guide a blind man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Yes.
I would suggest, I would tell them to find a good guide.
And by okay. Yeah. So yeah, okay. Perfect. Cool. Um the theme of this podcast is leader with a heart. That is people that are building businesses with a heart, businesses that are contributing and making an positive impact around them. What would you say is a cause that you're mostly passionate about?
I'm passionate about helping people who are less fortunate
Mm-hmm.
in a way of their looks,
Yes.
or their presence, the performance. Um, I love helping startups that are chasing in circle, their tail.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking themselves, why is this not working? Why do people not acknowledge me? Why um, why they don't take me seriously, and so on?
Mm-hmm.
Because there it's so little that they can do to make it better.
Absolutely.
I created also another freebie for that, to
Oh wow.
show them how little they need to do with their profile picture if they're online and entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
A little tweak, and they can rank a lot higher than they are, just by a little tweaks, and also with personal style. Do you know Susan Boyle?
Yeah, really.
It was really, really, really talented. She still is. She's a really talented singer,
Okay.
but she looked really, she had one brow. Her appearance was, like she was some housewife, like a
Mm-hmm.
nobody. People would say she's a nobody. But when she sang,
Wow.
people couldn't believe that that came from that lady.
Amazing.
She has this angelic voice. And when I see people like that, I once had the privilege to meet such a person. She was a cashier in a store, and she didn't have style. She had her eyebrows were thick, and she was overweight. And my friend went with me, and she was quite rude towards her because her looks didn't radiate this gentle female energy. And when I approached her with my respect towards her as a person, her face changed.
Of course.
She was like, thank you.
Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah, so this is really what inspires me, people like that.
What's her name? You said Susan what?
Boyle.
Boyle. Okay, I'll definitely check her out. Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect. Hmm. Let me ask you now some fun questions. Um, Imagine that, first of all, do you have your own podcast?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't have time for that.
Oh, I don't have time. Okay. You're too important for that.
Yes,
You just want to
exactly.
be a guest on the podcast. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Now, imagine that you, Anna, you have your own podcast, very successful. And today you have the most special guest in the world, which is yourself. You're interviewing yourself. What is the first question you want to ask yourself and why?
Who's Anna? And why? Because you have to know the person you're talking to. And it all starts from that. And it has a lot of material to talk about.
Absolutely. Now imagine that now you have a superpower, which is you have a time machine. Now you can go back in time and you're sitting face to face with your 18-year-old self. What would be the first piece of advice you would give to your 18-year-old self, knowing all that you know now?
Don't give up. Just keep on trying because it will be better.
Lovely. Okay, perfect. Now, still sticking with the time machine. Imagine that you can go to any period in time, whether in the past or in the future, whether it's 5,000 years ago or a million years in advance. Which which time period would you like to go and why?
That's a tricky question because I would like to be in the present.
Oh, yes, tricky. You know, I've had many people, but no one mentioned that. You're the first one. You're
Really?
definitely original. Yes, that's unique.
I'm all about originality. I'm trying. I'm trying to be original.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yes, because you know, I read one time ago that what is the future? No, what is life? What is the future? If the future is a collection of now, you know, a
Yes.
collection of now that you know follow each other. You add them
Mhm.
together, and you obtain the future. You obtain a lifetime. You obtain anything you want. But everything
Yes,
is based on now.
I believe that strongly. That's my motto. This is
Mhm.
why.
Have you read the book The Power of Now
No,
by, by
but
Eckhart
I
Tolle?
should.
You definitely should. That's a global classic. I will send you the link. Absolutely amazing. Talks just about that.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes, yes.
Thanks.
Now, imagine that again, you could meet anyone from any time in history for 1 hour. Not for an hour, just for, let's say, to have a lunch or dinner with. Who would it be and why? Any person, any.
In history,
Or it can be anyone. It can be someone from your life. It can be someone that made a big impact in history. Anyone that you would love to meet for a couple of hours and talk to over dinner or whatnot.
hmm, I never thought about that.
Well, it's the
It's
first
a
time for
really
everything.
hard question. Oh, some queen maybe.
Which queen? Queen of England?
Yeah, why not? Why
Why not?
not?
Hey, Queen, you have some time?
Yeah, why not?
You're funny. I like that. Why not? Maybe some Queen. Okay. When you meet the Jones, just don't tell her that, hey, I just wanted to meet someone and I had to choose someone, so I chose you, you know?
Because I look at people who they are. I don't look at them through their titles. So
That's exactly what I said in the beginning, you know? I want to know the person, not the title. Exactly.
yeah,
Yes. Awesome.
we're all people.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're dealing with people. Absolutely. Now, one more fun question. Imagine that whatever God would come to you and say, Anna, I can give you one superpower for the rest of your life. Which would it be?
Patience.
Wow. Beautiful.
With patience, you have everything. You have health, you have wealth, you have love, you have prosperity. If you're patient, you can reach and yeah, you can reach anything.
That is so true. Patience. And if you're patient, you can avoid making a fool of yourself. You can avoid causing trouble. You know, you can avoid saying something that you'll regret. you know.
Yes.
You can avoid exploding like a volcano if you're patient, you know.
Yes.
Those ices, yes, I'm sure you've been through that.
Oh yeah.
Maybe one or two times.
Yeah, just a couple of times.
Exactly. Multiplied by 100.
Yeah.
No, that's fun. That's fun. Um, do you have what's your number one productivity tip that you use on a daily basis to help yourself get through? Especially, I'm sure you're very busy on a day to day basis. How do you manage to stay productive and focused?
I tried so many things.
Mm,
I'm a productive junkie. um, but time blocking, I think, is very important. Time blocking and putting things in calendar to have an overview, that would be the best thing to do.
having a schedule, basically,
Yes, as much as
because
I can, because
you know,
my schedule is very versatile.
yes, we need to be, especially as an entrepreneur, we need to be, versatile. Especially for you, you have to take care of your son. As a mother, it's even more.
Mhm.
You have much more on your plate than well, that's understandable. Yeah, that's very true.
Especially because he's a special needs baby, so
Oh,
it's even
especially
more
a,
challenging.
a boy at that age is can be quite naughty, quite challenging. Eh?
Yes.
Awesome. If someone wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
It can be through Facebook, Anna Malovrh or Anna in Style. It's easier to
Okay.
pronounce. Or my website, chooseyoursIgnatureStyle.com.
Choose wait. Choose your signature style.com. Okay, perfect. I'll put
And
it in
Instagram,
and Insta
Anna dot in dot style.
Anna dot sorry, Anna dot
In dot style.
okay, Anna and style. Okay. What does the word style mean to you? Life?
Way of life.
Yes.
Style
Mm-hmm.
is the way we present ourselves to the world, the way we walk, talk, breathe. It's who we are, uh, or how we do things in our own way.
Mm-hmm.
And when people say, I don't have a style, yes, you do. It's your style, but it depends if it's socially accepted or recognized as such. Everyone has their own style because, my professional background reaches back to linguistics, and I, especially because I studied literature, you know, its style is everywhere. You can recognize a person by their style.
Mm-hmm.
I can recognize a person just by looking at what they wrote. Sorry. And I
Worries.
apply this to visual branding and personal style also. This is my talent, I would say.
That's a powerful talent because being able to see that through just somebody's writing or words, that's powerful.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Do you have any parting tips for anyone that's looking to step up their style game?
Do certifications or whatever educational background. Yeah, do research, and always add something that's unique to you.
But you didn't mention the best way to step up their game, which is to contact you. Contact Anna.
Maybe I didn't understand the question.
Okay, my bad.
I'm a foreigner.
Me no speak English.
Yeah, I was
Magkakatsa
preparing
Dichi.
the whole time.
Was I? No, that's fine. That's fine. That's well, Anna. Listen, it's been a pleasure having you on. I can see that not only you're very passionate about what you do, but also you're an amazing person to talk to. Very fun too. We can talk for hours and hours, but what time is it now? Is it like 2 o'clock in the morning for you now?
1 a.m. Yes.
1 o'clock. Okay. Yes, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I have another podcast in an hour. I've had a very long day. You're my third one. I will have another one in less than an hour. So we'll close for now, but we'll definitely do a follow up in a few months, and we'll definitely also keep in touch. So
I would
I
love
salute
that.
you. You're a real leader with a heart that is very passionate, and you have a beautiful mission, which is helping people to really, see their real talent and potential, and to believe in themselves and to project a more powerful, more confident image to their style, which is very powerful as a way to go. So thank you for that. You're doing a great service for people. Keep doing it. Keep staying awesome. And I wish you a wonderful evening. So talk to you next time. Take care, my friend.
Thank you for having me and lots
Take
of
care.
luck and success to you.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.